Hi guys, welcome to the axial skeleton part 1, which is the skull. We are going to go over the bones, sutures, and features that you need to know for your lab this Thursday, which is chapter 7, part 1, the axial skeleton. So I have a painted skull here in front of me, and I am going to go down the list that I have made for you that's on Canvas, your week 5 assignment list, which shows the bones, features, and sutures that you need to know for this week. I'm just going to go down that list in order. So first things first, I have my painted skull here in front of me, and you guys are looking at the face, which is considered the anterior view. Okay, so we're going to go over that really quickly. So anterior view means you can see the face. I am looking at the posterior view, which is the back. So now you guys are looking at the posterior view, which is the back. If you turn it to the side, it doesn't matter which side you're looking at, either this side or this side, those are referred to as the lateral views, okay? If I were to turn the skeleton back to the anterior view and I picked it up so you could see underneath it, this is the inferior view. And if I set it down again and moved it so that you guys could look down on the skull, that is called the superior view. Okay, so when I explain to you guys, I'm going to be using those terms. So starting with our bone list, our first bone is the frontal bone. The frontal bone is this pink bone right here. So the frontal bone makes up the forehead region as well as the most superior aspect of the eye orbits. Our next bones is the parietal bone. So the parietal bone, if you look from the lateral view, it's the orange. Now, these bones come in pairs. Many of the bones in the skull come in pairs. You have a left and a right. You guys don't need to distinguish between the left and the right as long as you can identify the bone itself as the parietal. So again, you can see the frontal and the parietals from the lateral view. You can also see them from the posterior view as well, frontal, lateral, parietals. All right, so the next bone on our list is the occipital. So the occipital is this blue bone right here. Okay, it makes up the posterior and inferior aspect of the brain case. So those three bones together, the frontal, the parietals, and the occipital, make up the brain case portion of the cranium. So next on our list, we have the temporal bone. So the temporal bone is best seen from the lateral view. It's this brown bone right here, and again it also comes in pairs, meaning you have one on the other side as well right here. Next we have, after the temporal, is the sphenoid. So the sphenoid can be seen from many views. It's this yellow bone right here, so you can see it from the lateral view. You can see it from the superior view looking down. Okay, you can see it also from the inferior view. So you can pretty much see the sphenoid from just about every angle. Okay, so again, it was the yellow bone. All right, so coming back and turning it to you guys. Next, we have the vomer. So to see the vomer, you need to pick up the skull and look at the inferior view. So it would be this blue, light blue bone that my finger's on right there. All right, next we have the zygoma or the zygomatic. So looking at it from the anterior view, the zygomas are these teal bones. Again, you have pairs of them. You can also see them from the lateral view as well. All right, they make up the lateral portions of the eye orbits, meaning the outside of the eye orbits. All right, next we have the maxilla. So the maxilla houses the upper dentition. All right, it also makes up the inferior aspect of the eye orbit and articulates with the zygomatics. Okay, next we have the nasal. So the nasal is the bridge of the nasal region. So it's at the very superior portion of the nasal opening. It's these two green bones here that you see. Again, they come in pairs. Next, you've got the lacrimal. So inside the medial aspect of the eye orbit, you have a depression there. That's a tear duct. That is the lacrimal. So if you guys can see it, it's this mustardy colored bone. It's very small. And again, it's only on the medial aspect of the eye orbit. Now, if your finger is on the lacrimal, on the medial aspect of the eye, and you go directly backwards, you feel another bone there, that is the ethmoid. So if you can see the color of it, it is the red bone inside there. All right, and then our very last bone that you guys need to know is the mandible. And the mandible is this kind of lime green color, and it houses the lower dentition. All right, so I'm going to go through those quickly. So you've got frontal, parietals, occipital, temporal,